Hi guys, welcome back to another book review. Today we're going to talk about Filthy Rich Fae from Geneva Lee. So as some of you know and some of you don't, we're going to talk about this one. Obviously I'm going to give you a quick book review on it, but I was able to read this one early due to the fact that I had signed up for a read along with Entangled Publishing, and I was so excited because I had signed up, and I know not everybody gets to choose, but I'm going to sign up anyways, why not? This book has been on my TBR. It sounds so good. We know it's right up my alley. We know I prefer the romantasy, the fantasy. So urban fantasy, it's right there. I'm sorry. Fantasy romance, urban fantasy romance, it's all in there. It's all my favorite genres. So let's go from there. So when I got to be chosen, I was so excited because I'm like, yay, my first read along, and it's a book I really want to I was completely stoked. I was so happy. I got it from NetGallery. They had sent it through my NetGallery email, and I was just so ecstatic. So thank you again to Entangled Publishing, because this is my favorite book of the year. Straight up gonna say this. I know that there's still a long ways off of the year, but so far for me, this one is my favorite book of the year so far. So I feel like I'm rambling, so I'm gonna go ahead real quick, and I'm gonna give you a quick overview on this one without giving too much away. And I'm gonna be very careful because I don't want to give stuff away. So I'm gonna be pretty vague about it. So the beginning of this one starts with Cate. She is going to make a bargain with Lach, who turns out, obviously you can tell he's going to be Fae. We kind of already can go from there. I feel like I'm not giving too much away. That's kind of expected. And he is going to take advantage of the bargain. That's just the best way of saying the reason she goes into this bargain is for, to help someone out, and instead he takes it and he twists it and he does it to his own ends, and he's pretty honest with her in the beginning. He's like, I did this for myself. And of course she's angry because he puts her in some situations. I don't know why I'm stumbling over words, but anyway, some situations, and there's a lot of forced proximity going on, and so she's livid. She's angry, but yet there's that tension and there's that attraction happening, because it is going to be a slow burn enemies to lovers, my favorite. And so you got that tension, you got that sizzle, you got the there's always a little bit of miscommunication. I don't know if it's necessarily miscommunication in enemies to lovers, or if they're really fooling themselves and lying to themselves, or if they're hiding their feelings. I don't really know what you want to label that one as. That's why I think sometimes it's better just to say enemies to lovers. So anyways, going from there, there's a lot of the tension, there's a lot of the angst, there's a lot of the emotions, and this book is going to be spicy. It does eventually pick up in the spicy scenes when the burn is burning, but even before the burn is burning, there is so much banter, and the banter is great. It is spicy. It had me kicking my feet. It had me giggling. I can tell you, I absolutely love this. Yes, I did not give more about the bargain, because this book, I don't want to give away the endings. This book was so good, and I feel like just saying that leaves so much open for you to be able to interpret and go into it saying, okay, she's going to make a bargain, and he's going to take advantage of it, and leave the rest open for you to just kind of be like, and then you can jump into it. And as you're reading it, you're going to be like, you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to end this chapter right here. I'm going to go to bed. You're not going to go to bed. I'm just going to start telling you, you're not going to go to bed. You're going to end, and you're going to be like, one more chapter. This is one of those ones where you go one more chapter, and before you know this, I was up till 3 a.m. reading this one, because I was like, and I lost track of time. I was like, okay, I have one more chapter I need to read for this read along, and then I will just read, a little bit of sense of questions for the read along, or tomorrow, it was the night before, I'm like, I'll just go ahead and read what's a little bit ahead. I completely lost self-control. I went ahead, and it was 3 a.m. and I'm like, oh my god, I lost. It's so good that I just lost track of time. My house was dark, my house was quiet, there was no noise. I just was completely sucked in, and we love a good book that sucks you in like that. So if I have to recommend this one, I'm definitely going to recommend this one, scream this one for the rooftops. I have been telling people about this. Actually, to be honest with you, because this was so good, I went online, and Target was having a huge book sale, right? And so I go on, and I ordered buy one get one half off, and I went and I ordered the entire Filthy Rich Vampire series, all 4 books, because I love this one so much, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, because I didn't want to be in a book slump, and I was able to find books to pick up and still be good afterwards. Don't get me wrong, I was able to find really good books. Luckily, I'm very careful on what I read. I take a lot of, even on my arcs, I make sure I don't pick up an arc that is not in a genre I don't appreciate. And so a lot of people are like, how do you rate things 4 and 5 stars so much? because I don't read a book that I don't like. Like, I'm not going to sign up for something if I don't like it. And yes, I may be like, it's books may be to me, but it's not like, oh my God, I wish I hadn't read this. It's just, oh, I read better, you know? That's the worst reaction you're going to get at me, because I do not read books I do not enjoy. And this, do not sign up for books I do not enjoy. And this one, like I said, right up my alley. One of my favorite things, urban fantasy. So I still feel like I'm really rambling, and it's because I loved this book so much, and I feel like I'm just talking up a storm about it. But I'm just going to tell you, this one is going to have you hooked. Everybody that I know who's read this one, they're just like, okay, I need book 2 now, because the ending leaves you on a cliffhanger, and it is a big cliffhanger. It's not a cliffhanger like you're like, oh, you know, like it's a big one that you're kind of like, honestly, the cliffhanger PO'd me off. But before you get to that cliffhanger, there's a twist in this story before the cliffhanger, like, that just kind of, the whole ending is just going to blow your mind. And like I said, and the book is really interesting even up until that ending. There's just, because it builds and builds and builds and builds and builds to that ending. It's a masterpiece. It's an amazing book. So that's any more I can say. This is getting to be a really long review, and I feel like I'm rambling forever. But if you are interested in this book, then I highly suggest checking this one out, because I loved it, and I think you might too.